All right, hi guys. Thank you for joining me. This is the tutorial for making a cover for the mini album. The size of this is going to be 8.5 by 8.5 by 4. This is a wide spine album. It's almost double because usually it's 2.5 or 3, and at this time it's 4 inches. So the album is quite hefty here. Okay, so I have two pieces that are 8.5 by 8.5 and one spine that's 8.5 by 4. Already cut out my strips. I have two strips that are 18 inches by 1 inch. And let's go ahead and start. So the first thing that I want to do is I am placing it on the grid so they're all straight. And I'm spacing it a little over a 1/4 inch from each other. So this is 1/4 inch. This is a little bit more. It's not quite 3/8. It's less. I would say maybe 5/16, something like that. Okay, once I'm happy with the distance and they're straight, I'm going to go ahead and put the binding tape. And it has adhesive on one side. So I'm just putting it right there in the middle. Okay. Turn it over and put the other side. Okay. So this binding tape will make sure that I can move it around and it's not going to tear. Okay. I'm going to take this here. Just glue it a bit together. This is I took this from another project that I started but didn't really do anything with it, so kind of repurposing it. Just some areas here just are coming apart a little, so I'm just gonna glue it back together. Okay. Okay, same thing I'm gonna do with this one. I'm just going to put it over the grid line to ensure it's straight. Distance it. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I dropped it. I didn't mean to. Okay. Okay. Just press it down to make sure it's here as well. Here we go. Okay, now let's take a few sheets of 65-pound black cardstock. They're 8.5 by 11. Don't use cardstock that's too heavy, and don't use cardstock that has white core. You want it flexible but strong and all one color. Okay, so let's put 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 should be sufficient. I want to have at least 1 inch on the edges, and I don't want the seams to be on the folds. I think this should be okay if I put this together like that. So right now I'm measuring just to make sure that I have enough, and I do on all sides. You see over here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit taller. All right. It's a little difficult, sorry. But I'll try, and you'll get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to attach these 3 sheets together. I'll take the quarter inch double side tape should be enough. And do the same thing to the second one, just for 2 of them. We don't need to do all 3, you just need 2. Okay. So just to be symmetrical, I'm taking these 2 and making them face each other. And this one that doesn't have any tape, I'm going to put one side here and one side on the other side. This way it'll be symmetrical. Take this tape out here. I can put it on the grid line again. Okay, here we go. That's one. And the second one will go on top like that here. That's the way to do it. So I'm just going to turn it around because it's easier for me to align it with my right hand. Okay, that's good. And this will go right here in the center. All right, so let's go ahead and put some tape down. This is going to be the back side, and we want it taped really well. So first I'm putting it as close as possible to the edges. And I don't want tape to be on the grooves itself. So I'm staying away from the groove area. And I'm gonna go down this way. This way. And here. On the book binding itself, I'm going to put regular glue. Okay. Okay. Let's turn it around. Okay. So you see I was pretty generous with the tape. And now just burnish it down. Make sure it doesn't have any air bubbles. Press it down. Okay. Now we're going to start taking the tape out. Usually start with the side opposite to my hand because I'm right-handed. So I start with the left hand. This way my hand doesn't have to touch the areas that I'm already removed the tape. Okay. And now I can go ahead and put some regular glue on it as well. The areas where I did not put any tape. Okay, let's turn it around and place it down. As much as possible, make it in the center so that it's equal. Okay. Right now, let's go over the edges. Okay, we're going to define the edges now. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put some tape on the other side. So I'm going to do it over the edges. I think I'm running out of tape here. It's okay, I should have another one open. Yeah, I'm running out. Okay. Okay. Leaving a space here for where it goes over the groove. Okay, and here, I don't really need the tape here. I don't know why I put one there. It's really not necessary there. I got a little carried away. So let me take it out. Yeah, over here it's not necessary. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to cut the edges off, but I'm going to be leaving about 1/4 of an inch on the edge over here. I don't cut it all the way to the corner. Okay, here we go. Just leaving a little space there. Okay. Now, before I remove the tape and glue it, I am turning it around and wrapping it over the corners, and I'm going over with my bone folder so that when I do take the glue out, it'll know exactly where to go. Okay. Okay. And I usually start from the middle on the long edges. I start at the middle and then work my way to the ends. Okay. And same thing on the other side. Start in the middle. Okay. Now that that's done, I can remove the tape and start folding it. So I usually start on the long edges and then I do the sides. Let's do side one. Okay. And I'll take my glue and I'm going to put my glue over here a little bit. Not on the edges, just on the sides, and also over here. Okay. Start at the middle and work your way to the sides. Okay, we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, now we'll work on the ends. Now the end, I want to wrap it around the corner. So the first thing I do is I press this down. Those two edges, I press it down. This little piece here. And then I fold it into the center so it'll have a little bit of a corner there. Let me see if I can show you. Okay. Now you can see. Let me show you here. It's folded inside. Okay. And then when we fold the corner, it'll be wrapped nicely. It'll cover the entire corner. So now that I folded it a little bit, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here just to make sure that it stays in its place. this tape out and this tape out. Add a little glue on the corners there. Here we go. Okay, look how beautiful and clean and neat this corner is now. There you see still a little bit of the glue, but it'll dry clear. But nice and clean. And do the same thing on this side. Press it down. We fold it over. Put a little glue there on the edges. Yeah, okay. Very good. Now let's do the spine. Okay, for the spine, I'm taking a little heavier cardstock, and I want to do 3 hinges for the top, for the center. Okay, I know it's wide, but it's pretty thick sections, so I'm going to have 3 hinges with an inch in between. So because I have 4-inch wide, it's going to be a hinge that is about let me see. How about 3/4 from 3/4? If I do 3/4 of an inch, let me take a piece of paper and try to figure it out. Okay, so here's my 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my 4 inches. That's 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. No, I have 1, 2, and 3. That leaves me too much. If I do, oh, you know what? If this is my 4 inches, let's say my 4 inches starts here, I'll do 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. Oh, it's rather easy. Okay. So 1 inch hinge, 1 inch hinge, 1 inch hinge. So I need 1 inch here. That's 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 11. Okay. I think it should be okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I have my 11.5 by 8. And because my cover is 8.5 inch long, I want the hinges to be 8. Maybe even less because my pages are 8. So my pages are 8. I'll do these at 7 3/4. No, 7 and Let's see. Let's do them at 7 7/8. 7 7/8. Okay. Let's find the middle. So this is 11 from here to here. The middle part is at 5 1/2. So let's score first of all in the middle at 5 1/2. Let's turn it over and score at 4 1/2 and at 6 1/2 and at 3 1/2 and at 7 1/2. Okay, turn it over. I'm going to score it at 2 1/2 and at 8 1/2. Okay, and I think that I need one more. That's it. Okay, turn it over again. And at 1 1/2 and 9 1/2. Okay. So watch what we have. We have this score line is a groove and this is a mount. We have groove, groove, and mount. Groove, groove, and mount, and groove again. All right, now let's fold it. But even before I fold it, I can already I can put some tape down before we even fold it. Okay, so let's turn it so that the first line we have is the mount, okay? And I'm going to put it as close as possible to the score line. Don't put it over, just as close as possible to the score line. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to skip this one. And I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to put it on the third one. Okay, so I skipped this and I skipped this. And I put it on the third one exactly the same way. And I'm going to skip this and put one here. Okay. Now we can fold it. So where I have the groove, I folded it up this way. And the second one is going to get folded this way. And then it's going to get folded this way. Okay, now we arrived at the fourth line, right? So the first one we folded this way, the second one this way, and the third this way again. The fourth one is going to go in the same direction as the third. So you see I have a tape here. If I put the tape together and glue it together, what do I get? I get the hinge. And now I have a space here that is 1 inch, and I'm going to start again, same thing. Put this one down. And up. And up again. So go with the direction of the grooves, okay? Put this one down and this one up. So this is what you want. Okay. See? Now all over those V's that you have over here, those V's, in between, you have the tape. Now you can take the tape out and put them together. Let's take the tape out and put it together. Here we go. Same thing here. We'll take the tape out. And that's the second one, and this is the third one. Now I put them together. Here are my 3 hinges. Very good. Okay, now I know that a lot of tutorials will show you to just do 1/2 inch hinges, and I like to do them in 1 inch. Why? Because my pages are heavy, you know, I don't do light. These are heavy and carry a lot of weight and a lot of movement. So when I put them about over here. That's about 1/4 inch away from the base. This is where the fold line is, and I will put my page in about 1/4 inch from here, and we'll glue it from here to here. So this is going to have 3/4 inch or about 3/4 inch. It's going to be attached to the hinge on both sides. So I'm adding more glue, more strength, and I'm keeping it away from the edge so it will have more movement, you know. Okay, let's put it over here on top of the page. It'll go right there where the middle hinge will go at the center of my page. Okay. Now what I want to do also is I want to probably remove the ends of it because I don't need it to go over here. Okay, over here I can put something else. So let's cut so that there's like 7/8 between the edge and the hinge. Okay. So when I put it over, it's not going to go all the way to the hinge. It's just going to be almost there. Okay, now I'm going to do a combination of tape and glue. I'm going to tape them this way. And here. I'm going to tape it here at the center. That's the 5/8 of an inch tape. Okay, and I'm going to put a lot of glue on it. Okay. And yes, it's going to come from the sides and I can clean it up. But this glue dries clear, so it's okay if it shows a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of the baby wipe and wipe it down. Okay. Now we'll let this dry a little bit. And I'm going to take some black paper and cover these areas. And I'm going to go over it until here. Like that. So from here to here, I have, count, I don't want to go all the way to the corner. I want to go about 1/4 of an inch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5 inches. Okay, so 9.5 by 8.25. And another one, 9.5. by 8 1/4. And yes, I am going to tape this again. So here I'm going to tape around this way. One, two. And here. Okay. And I'm going to tape around the paper itself because it's easier for me to determine where the edges are when I tape it on the paper itself. Okay. And do this one. Same thing. Okay, let's take this out of here. All right, now because I'm taking all of the tape out and there's going to be a lot of tape here, I have to be very careful how I'm placing it. Obviously, it's a little easier if you're using regular glue, because with regular glue, you still have a little bit of maneuvering. Okay, so again, avoid the edges. Just going to put it a little bit here. And I'm trying to center it. And press it down. Okay, so you'll see that I placed it about 1/8 of an inch from the corners or 1/4 of an inch from the corners. I left a border around, you see. And also here, I did not go all the way. It's almost, but it's not there. Okay, repeat with the other one. Same thing. I'm almost out of glue. Okay. So let's go over. And you want to go over the groove area a few times. Work it out, and then you can slowly bend it. Okay, here we go. So now it will always bend inwards. Do the same thing here. Don't press too hard because you don't want to rip the paper, but hard enough so that it will create a groove here. Okay. So here we go. Here's your cover. It's quite big. It's a 1/4 inch, 4 inches. But we have a large album, so. Okay, when I come back, we're going to do a cover and we're going to put the pages in. I hope that this was educational and easy to follow. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message, put a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by and watching the video. I really appreciate it. Bye.